And so, one of the most obvious answers, is for both landlords and tenants, is insurance. And having good insurance is an extremely important thing. I was very fortunate in that this large loss and on Heights Boulevard, I had a major insurance company, and I had a very substantial insurance policy. And it did as good as it could do. I have no complaints with my insurance company, my insurance agent, people like that. They all did what they were supposed to do. They all did as good as they could. It's still a very difficult experience, and the recovery always takes a lot longer than you expect. And this, of course, dealing with the many, many personal friends I have who lost either their entire house if it was a one-story house, or lost the first floor of their house if it was a two-story house, that it's just an extremely difficult process. And so at least if you have adequate insurance, you have some protection, you have something to turn to, and things like that. Keep in mind, insurance is very expensive in Houston and even more expensive in our neighboring Galveston Island. So be prepared, and because of the large losses that we have suffered over the last few years, and the construction market seems to have gotten more expensive, insurance reflects these losses. So insurance has been expensive in the past, and the people coming up for renewal this year are finding, as I have, we've had dramatic increases in our insurance, and that's unfortunately, I think, I'm hoping it's going to stabilize in the next year or two, but I don't think it'll be near term, and I doubt it'll drop down too much after that. So one of the things is to start shopping for insurance early, know when your renewals are coming up, and see if you can find the best deal. One of the things I mentioned is the way that you buy insurance. Many people today, there's radio ads and things like that, advertising, well, don't sell your old house, rent it out, buy a new house. Well, for many people, they don't have the wherewithal to buy a new house or buy the next house if they don't sell the one previous to it to have the equity. But Houston is a very active business scene. We have a lot of working two-income families where it is possible for many families to rent out their house and buy another house. If you only are doing that with one house and you have your insurance with the large commercial carriers, State Farm, Allstate, so forth, that insurance agent is probably going to be fine for helping you with just one house, to one extra rental house. However, if you are a serious investor and you have multiple properties, you probably need to partner with a commercial insurance agent that has access to a wide variety of insurance products. They're also going to be more sophisticated as to the type of losses that you may encounter versus what I call, your regular residential insurance agents. I think that's something to keep in mind. One of the things that we see most often in these catastrophic losses is that people did not anticipate how much it would cost to put the property back together. And the bottom line is, it's expensive to build today. It's expensive to go in and repair things. In my case, the Houston Heights property is a historic house, and it's even more expensive than people realize to go in and repair property that has to end up looking like the historic house that it started with. So it's understanding those things is that, again, even though insurance is expensive, it's very expensive not to have insurance. So people should make sure when they purchase insurance that they purchase enough insurance. Also, people, I think, are a little less conscious of contents. Is if you have a nice size house and it's fully furnished, furniture is expensive. I mean, if you have a Tempur-Pedic mattress by itself, that's $3,000 or $4,000. If you have a fire in your house, just the mattress is going to cost $3,000 or $4,000, and that's not counting a nice bedroom set and so forth and so forth. Replacing all the appliances in your kitchen, which is very common. Kitchen's on the first floor. Hurricane Harvey took out a lot of first floors in Houston, which meant virtually all of the kitchen appliances needed to be replaced. in virtually all of these homes that were flooded. So there's things like that, and if you don't want to end up with the bottom of the line appliances, so you want to have insurance that will cover comparable things. Just one example, in my kitchen in the Heights house that was burned during the fire, I had a Genair cooktop. And a Genair cooktop is a proprietary appliance that can only be purchased from certain dealers, and they are held at basically, if you want a Genair appliance, you're going to pay retail for it pretty much around the United States. And they estimated my cooktop replacement for insurance at $350. It was $1,900 to replace the Genair cooktop. So it's a good idea to know what your stuff costs, especially if you're particular about it. I'm a cook, so I care what I cook on, so it made a difference to me. For other people, it may not, but it's a good idea to do that.